I was at an event a few days ago, and a gentleman asked me, why buy sell agreements? Why business succession? Why is that so important to you? So I shared with him the story of my mom's friend Peyton, who was a very successful business owner. And he used to fly his own plane wherever he went. He flew his plane up north. I'm here in California. So he flew his plane up in Northern California. He dropped off his son. And on his way back, he started running into some engine issues. He turned the plane back, and they believed that he was planning to land the plane on his neighbor's vineyard, not knowing that the neighbors started to plant the vineyard. So, in essence, his plane was landing quite nicely, but because it was dark, he hit one of the vines. And unfortunately, they found the plane the next day. So I had a wonderful conversation many years ago with his fiance. She shared those parts of the story with me. She knows about the book, and that really the situation with Peyton changed the trajectory of my practice and what I was interested in doing. Because prior to that, I was doing retirement planning and looking at securities and investments and mutual funds and all of those things. And I used to set up 401k plans. And I remember very clearly sitting at businesses thinking, I'm sitting here setting up this 401k plan, spending all this time talking to these employees. But if that business owner has nothing in writing and nothing in place, it's all for naught. And I really got distracted by it. I started traveling the country, learning more about business planning and what it meant. And why didn't people do it? Why weren't they doing it? With that, I decided, I'm going to retire my securities license. I'd rather partner with my colleagues that want to do that kind of business. And I really want to focus on having this conversation with business owners about mitigating risk, about having a plan in place so that in the event that something happens to them, that their business doesn't fall to the wastelands that Peyton's did, which in reality, it didn't fall to the wastelands. It goes to the competition. News alert. If you're not there to run the business, the clients still have a need. They're going to go somewhere. So if you do have a business and you want to leave that legacy to your family as opposed to your competition, put a plan in place. And so what I really decided is I want to have a laser focused conversation about business continuity. And in order to do that, I'm going to remove some of the distractions of the financial services world and talk about the things that really help a business have the foundation to protect all of their assets and the legacy of the business. So with that, I started having a conversation. And on that journey, back in about 2009, I decided I was going to write a book. Okay, I got a little bit of coercion from my bestie. But I said, you know what? I'm going to write this book because it was on my heart to educate business owners that there is a plan, there is a strategy that you can put in place that in the event that something happens to you, nothing has to happen to the business, or I should say nothing because your loss is going to be great, but the business can continue. So I started the journey of writing the book, and I interviewed a lot of folks, including Peyton's former fiance, and I did a lot of research on the NTSB and what was really going on with the plane. I mean, I just really dived into it. It was just really on my heart to do that. And so I finally started working on the book. I finished the book in about 2018, and I gave it to my editor, and she says, "You know what? I got a lot out of your book, but she goes, it just went over my head. I'm just a small business owner." And then I said, "Well, then it's wrong. This book is wrong." So what we did is we scrapped the entire book, everything except for the title. I had a cover that was completed. The cover was done. We were really going in a totally different direction. And I said, you know what? This is wrong. And I know I learned really well from stories. I said, I want to write a story. I want to write a story that is going to allow for a business owner to kind of cozy up with a cup of coffee and read about an event. And within that event, they will learn different things about how they can plan for their business. So I created a character. Her name is Grace. The title, everything was for me was really divine. It was just truly a divine download. Leaving in Style, Business Succession on Your Terms was kind of, I should say, probably a secret because before having a business degree, I have a fashion degree. And I told no one. It wasn't even in my resume or my bio. I just didn't tell anyone. I just felt like it wasn't relevant to the financial services space, so I'm not going to share it. But I guess things come full circle because the title of the book was given to me as I woke up in the morning. This is the title of the book. Later on, the character's name started coming to me, and Grace became my character. So, I call it truly a divine book and a work of love. Here she is. She goes everywhere I go. This is Grace. Grace has been to Spain. She's been to Italy. She's been to New Zealand, Fiji, Australia. She goes places. She's got photos in airports. Maybe I should add some on here one day. But I take pictures of her in the bookstore and the airports because she's got potential. But Grace is a character that almost any business owner can relate to. And she's really in a situation where she's taken over a business from her dad. So I took a very difficult conversation and subject and tried to make it palatable because the statistics are alarming. Only 35% of small business owners actually say that they have a plan in writing. And that's just ridiculous. That means that 65% of you have nothing in place. And oftentimes it's not because you're not capable, it's just not in your wheelhouse. And you have no idea who to talk to, and you have no idea where to go, and you have no idea what to put in writing. So I said, what if we have a laser focused conversation here? And once it's done, you can exhale. You have something that you can just kind of lean back and go, oh, it is done. Now, that doesn't mean it's one and done because you always want to revisit it as your business changes and evolves. But the tough part of it, the hard work is done. And when you do that, news alert, it may really set you apart from your competition. One of the things that I become acutely aware of is this is something that concerns a lot of corporations and even government entities that are awarding contracts. What happens if I award this contract to this small business? Yes, we've met our requirements for sending business to small businesses, but what if they can't continue the contract? So you just imagine you and I are competing for a contract, a small business contract, and they look at us and we're pretty much neck and neck. But in my provisions or what I'm offering is, hey, here's my continuity plan. Here's my succession in the event that I'm not here. This is how my business is going to continue with this contract. Are they going to choose you or are they going to choose me? I'm kind of hoping they're choosing me. So I'm moving forward in helping business owners understand that, you know what, if you add a little bit of icing to your cake, you might have the whole party. It may be all yours. It could be really something as simple as having a business succession plan. So, hopefully Grace and I can save the world one small business owner at a time. But that's really how I got into this place and space. Writing the book really brought out a new passion for serving business owners in a really fun way. I don't know how to do plumbing. I don't know how to build a building. And so I can't expect you to know how to do this. So here at Leading in Style, we want to share as many tools as possible to help you on that journey. If you have a business story that you like to share, we welcome the conversation. It could be a success story. It could be a not so successful story. Unfortunately, I hear more not so successful stories, but again, those are lessons that can be learned by others. If you want to hear celebrity stories, if you want to hear big business stories, let me know. Leave a comment. I have a lot of them, and I think I'm going to start pulling them out because they all have great, great learning lessons for all of you, including, I'll give you some hints, J.C. Penney's, Walt Disney, Ben and Jerry's, and even think about it, some of the celebrity stories. Many celebrities had more money than some corporations. I call them mini corporations. but there are lessons that can be learned that really help you because you don't have to learn all the tough lessons. You can learn from others. But join us. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join us here. Leave a comment. Make some suggestions. And I look forward to seeing you next time.